Hey guys, it's Seafood Dumber on the Northern Shaolin School of Kung Fu, and today we're going to give a quick demonstration of judging at the fall tournament, particularly sparring. All right, so I have Jack and I have Hamish. So make sure that when you're watching this demonstration that you pay attention to some of the things that I'm going to highlight. Make sure you read the rules on the continuous sparring. When you are judging, the first thing that you always want to do is ensure you have all of your competitors. Make sure your brackets are completed. Make sure you have all the right names, things of that nature. Everything should be done before the division begins, so make sure you remember that. When you're getting ready to spar, you're going to bring up your two competitors. Make sure that as the head judge or the judges on the outside of the ring, that you keep control of what's going on. Remember, they are sparring, so therefore that is combat. So sometimes people can get a little bit out of hand, and it's your job as the judge to make sure that you keep control. All right? It's their job as the competitors to make sure that they show respect to each other. So one thing that we do at the beginning of the match is we bow to each other. So gentlemen, would you bow to each other? Bow to me. And then to show sportsmanship, touch gloves. Awesome. And the next thing that you as a head judge, if you're in the middle, you're gonna get in between them and say, hands up, ready, okay? And so now they are ready to engage in combat. There will be a certain amount of time, so you'll have a timekeeper that keeps track of all that. So as the head judge, make sure you're paying attention. So a few things that I wanna show you guys, and I'm gonna get Jack and Hamish to demo for me, are some of the calls. So let's pretend like they've sparred for a few minutes and now it's the end of the match. What we're going to do is we're going to get both of them to, we're going to say break, or we'll say time, and then they're going to turn around for me, gentlemen. And at the end of their round, they're going to get a 30-second break. After they are done, I'm going to turn them around. Turn around for me, gentlemen. And then the judges are going to call points. So hands are going to be down. Look straight ahead or put your head down. As a judge, you want to try to make sure that you're not being biased about your calls. So don't be that judge that looks around at everybody else as they're calling. Put your head down, hands in front. The head judge is going to say, judges, call. And you're going to point in that direction of who you think won the round. Okay? If you get to a point, maybe you're kind of undecided about maybe who won, then as a corner judge or head judge, you can collectively meet together as a judging crew and talk about, hey, who do you think won that match? And then you can come back and call the match again. All right, sometimes that does happen. So make sure that, you know, as a judge, you're paying attention to what's going on in the ring. So, calling points, we went through that. What happens if there's a foul? So as a foul, you're going to see this hand gesture. We're going to take one hand, put it by our head, and then we're going to point to who we think made the foul infraction. So a foul can occur like this. So Jack, I want you to do something for me, okay? Get in a fighting stance. Hamish, get in a fighting stance. So what I want you to do, Hamish, is I want you to turn your back, and Jack, I want you to lightly hit Hamish in the back of the head. When I say go, that's what I want you to do. I want you to turn your back and lightly hit him in the back of the head, and I'm gonna say break, okay? Ready, and go. Break. So, that is a foul. So, strikes to the back of the head. I'm gonna use you real quick, Hamish. So, strikes to the back of the head, spine. Thigh kicks are available, but you have to make sure that you're paying attention that people aren't kicking in this lower area here or aiming for the kneecap, because that's dangerous. So our job as the judge is to ensure that everybody is safe. Anything below the belt that is not a thigh kick, like a front kick or anything like that, you're gonna call a foul on, okay? Upper body, perfectly fine. For our beginners, no head contact. For intermediate, sides of the head are okay, light contact. And then for our advanced, full head, but light contact, okay? So chest, rib area, intermediate, sides of the head, advanced, full face guard, okay? But light, okay? Contact is something that you want to ensure that you pay attention to. Now, going back to those fouls, like I said. So, Jack just had a foul. So I'm gonna call a foul on him like this, okay? And anybody who is judging can call a foul. So judges, make sure you're paying attention if there's excessive contact. If you're seeing somebody who is maybe being unruly or disrespectful or just not, adhering to the rules of the tournament, you can warn them. After you warn them so many times, read the rules so you can know how many warnings they get. You can disqualify that person because they are not adhering to the rules or they're being unsafe, okay? Now, we're gonna do a quick demo match between Jack and Hamish, and I'm gonna kind of show you guys how we want this done. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Gentlemen, are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Make sure also, judges, that you keep them inside of the boundary. If they go outside of the ring, you need to stop that action. And if somebody continues to keep going outside the ring, then you can give them a warning for that, because that shows that they're not protecting themselves. All right, so gentlemen, make sure you pay attention to the outside of your ring. All right, bow to each other. Bow to me. Touch gloves. Put 1 minute on that timer and just let me know when time is up, okay? Here we go. All right. Watch the contact, watch the power. On the bell. Kaisher. Going. Break. Go back to your spot. Perfect example. We have an equipment malfunction. So, as a head judge, I want to make sure that all equipment is safe. If I need to, if it takes longer than maybe a few seconds, I can turn this person around so they're not, not in the action. All right, you guys ready? Hands up. On the bell. Jisher. Break. Come back to your spots. I got a warning here. That's a low kick. That's your first warning. Pay attention. Hands up. Come back. You okay?
Yeah.
Jisher. Break. Okay, when somebody falls or hits the ground or they grapple up, because grappling is also a part of sparring, you make sure you stop the action. Ready? Hands up. And Jisher. Time. Back to your spots, gentlemen. Good job. And turn around. And so obviously, after that, we would award who won the round. So again, make sure you're reading through the rules. Go to www.kungfuforever.com/tournaments. And if you look under there, you will see a rules link. Click on the link and you'll also see continuous sparring. So if you have any questions, read through the rules or leave a comment. Hey guys, just to kind of give you some more tips about sparring and some things that you need. So below here I have some of the gear that can be used for sparring. So we have an open face cage here. So of course, just make sure you're aware that if you wear something like this, especially if you're in the advanced division, they can strike you to the front face. So be careful. So normally we suggest if you have a caged helmet or a closed helmet, this is better and safer. Okay, if you want to wear a chest protector, that is totally up to you. They're optional. Gloves, these are foam dip gloves, but if you have boxing gloves or MMA gloves, you can use those. What we ask is that you not use the really thin like bag gloves. Don't use those because those usually aren't safe and good for sparring. So if you have those, we're going to ask you to change out. And then you also have like the footies that you see at karate tournaments. If you decide you want to wear those, you can. But what happens to a lot of people is they want to wear a shoe like this. Now, your shoe should be able to fold on itself like this, okay? if your shoe is not able to do this, if you're not able to fold it, you don't need to wear it for sparring, okay? We're not gonna allow you to wear that. You can go barefooted as well. Mouthpiece, cup are required. If you do not have those things, we will not let you spar. You must have those things. And we don't share those things. It's not hygienic. So make sure you have your own and make sure you have it on the day of the tournament. If you don't have it, we will not let you spar. Hey guys, so we're gonna go over what the hand signals are. So again, really quickly. So when judges call, hands are gonna be in front, head is down. Don't look around because you don't want to look like you're being influenced by other judges. People do record that. You don't want to be on YouTube. And so make sure you're paying attention. Again, scoring, you're going to point in the direction of score. If there's a foul, one hand is going to be by the head. You're going to point to whoever it is that has the foul infraction, and you're going to let that person know what the foul is or let the head judge know. Also, if you see maybe there's a clash, hands crossed in front, clash. If you don't see, hands are in front. But you're normally not gonna use those calls as much because you have to make some kind of decision. So again, if you're not able to really figure out which way you wanna go, make sure you discuss it with your other judges. You can call a timeout and you guys can group together. Okay guys, so I just want to reiterate one more thing. So we're going to talk about like thigh kicking and takedowns, so you kind of have an understanding of how to judge those things. So I have Nate. So me and Nate are going to demo. So let's say if we're sparring, my leg needs to be grounded for him to thigh kick. When he thigh kicks, he's going to thigh kick between the hip and the kneecap. So he's hitting in this area here. Anything outside of this, other than if he's trying to hit me on the side of my body here, that's a no-go, okay? So for example, we're gonna show you what a thigh kick should look like. We're going to the outside of the leg. No thigh kicks to the inside, groin, things of that nature, or no calf kicks. Wanna try to keep you safe. So again, I'm gonna be here. Nate, would you give me a thigh kick? Boom, that is a valid thigh kick. And then I can do the same thing. Come in, wham, okay? Now, we're gonna ask you to make sure, watch the power. You're not trying to break your opponent's leg. So, make sure you're doing them controlled, but it's still sparring, so understand that you are in combat. The leg needs to be grounded for that to count. If I lift my leg up, so let's say, for example, Nate goes in order to thigh kick me, and I check this leg. That does not count as a point, okay? That means I am blocking myself, I am protecting myself. Now, let's kind of go over takedowns really quickly. So, what happens when two people grapple up, so Nate grapple with me, you're gonna give as a judge, you're gonna give a 3 to 5 second count. During this count, that means that they need to be actively trying to take the other person down to the ground. If they are not able to accomplish this, you need to break the action. So if we're grappled up and Nate is trying to take me down or I'm trying to take Nate down, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, break. If he does not get me down by that break, we are going to stop the action. Now, what happens if Nate gets me down in that time frame, okay? Watch this. So, again, I'm gonna be here with Nate, we're gonna grapple up. Nate's gonna take me down to the ground. As a judge, you will yell break. You're gonna allow me to get up. Keep in mind that that is a solid takedown and that would go towards the opponent who actually did that and had control. So we wanna make sure that we're giving credit for good Kung Fu, and we wanna make sure that you are paying attention to that. Some things that we don't want people to do. Get in the fighting stance for me, Nate. We're trying to stay away from double leg takedowns. So we're trying to stay away from double legs as far as lifting people up. So if you're lifting that person up over your body or over your waist and then trying to dip them on their head, we don't want that. But if you go for a single leg takedown or double leg and you're able to trip them up or dip them down on the ground that way, that'll be fine. Now, of course, depending on the surface, sometimes we may say no takedowns for safety purposes. But normally, for where we have the venues, we're usually able to do that. So once again, if you have any questions, go to www.kungfuforever.com/tournaments. Look under that rules section. Make sure you read the rules, judges. Make sure you read the rules, competitors.